So if you are here, you guys got about like 30 seconds, and you guys just why don't we just put your little exit ticket right here on the corner of this desk? That would be great, and that'll just let me know I'll be able to read through those and kind of see where people are at in this assignment. If you need my help, let me know. Tomorrow we're going to be writing for a good part of the period, so hopefully you're in a comfortable spot at home that you can make that happen. Alrighty. Alrighty. Any of you, this is your last class of the day? Yes? Anybody going home? Yay, that's good. Can enjoy the 80-degree weather. Have a nice day. I'll just stand here and take your exits from you. That'd be great. Be like school. This is like what school used to be like. Remember? You'd have to turn something in. Oh, like that's not even on a computer. Crazy. Oh my gosh.
We're not getting to
Nice. Did you check out? I hope you checked out. Bye. Look at the backpack. Isn't that fun? Bye. Thank you so much, Emily. Have a nice day. Let's go. I'm gonna borrow this one. Thank you so much. Did you see my little comment on your slideshow? I don't know if you saw that. Were those your pictures?
Yeah.
Your drawing?
Isn't that nice? Give me your version.
Now, do you do that online?
Yeah.
So those are digital art.
Yeah.
Look at printing here.
No, online.
Look how fun that is. Now, do you have a reference for it? Do you have a reference that you're working off of that? Super. Nice. Maybe you like this. Bye. Grayson, what do you got? I'm sorry?
I didn't really know exactly what's around.
Well, it says here, what do you think you might focus on for your personal statement?
Just not entirely sure about it.
Okay, then say I'm not sure.
Okay.
Grayson, I gotta tell you, Mr. Lentini comes down to my room almost every day about you. I get an email from your mom almost every day about you. What are you doing versus all the people around you doing, you know? This isn't like rocket science what we're doing. I'm just asking you to write a word in a box, you know? Can you hold me up for a second? Is it what can I do to help you just check your box to get out of high school?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Because what I've tried to do is come over and redirect you a couple of times. I've tried to offer you both paper and online versions of things. Do you want to graduate from high school?
Yeah.
Because it seems like your mom wants you to graduate from high school. Do you want to go? What do you want to do after high school? Military?
Possibly.
Okay. Do you think they'll put up with what you're doing here for 1 second?
No.
Do you think you can drop with your head down while they're telling you what to do? Step up, man. You can do this. This isn't, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not being mean. You can do this. Everybody can do basic high school, okay? You can do this. So if this is incomplete, that's fine. It's incomplete. If you want to do it later and show me you did it so that your mom will stop hassling me. Does she hassle you?
Yeah.
Incessantly? And what could you have done today to avoid her incessantly hassling you? You could have written it. You want to write that out in some other class today and hand it back to me later so that I don't mark it as missing? So that she doesn't ride your tails? I don't know. So, is there something I can do?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. I mean, honestly, Grayson, you can do this. It's not a big deal. There's things that I mean, the bar is pretty low here for you just getting by, you know, writing in boxes. Okay? You're a 12th grader. You can do this. Bye. Have a nice day. Okay, I have to spray the desks 5 minutes-ish, so you might want to just hang out. Standing, perhaps, maybe do a lap. I don't know if that may help you. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. I feel clean already.
You feel like you stopped COVID already?
I don't know. Did you hear there's 1,500 students on quarantine at Cherry Creek High School right now? 1,500. That's what happened. What was that? No, what happens is it's just who's in the room if they know of a known case, you know? So like we've had 2 classrooms at Columbine that had a known case, and so there's 65 kids that are here. But 1,500, that's crazy. It's just crazy.
I know a kid that got quarantined and then came back today.
Did that today?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Hello.
Okay, so I have a lot going on here.
Me too. I'm definitely smaller than, yeah.
Okay, all right, so I got that. Why don't we take this and go back this way? Why don't we take this? That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right, and then this. I don't care about that. You guys are in 6th hour. Is there anybody logged on at home? It looks like we got a couple people logged on at home. That might mean we have a stream. That's good. My stream crashed last hour because that's how we roll.
Google Meet completely stopped working.
You did today in another class?
Like yesterday.
I know, it's
Like,
crazy.
the third, and see how much they were doing.
You know, just chip away, make the best we can, I guess. I really don't know. Present, there, that's what I wanted. Okay, perfect. That's done. I got my attendance sheet here. Got people emailing me like crazy. Okay, that's cool. And then to do this. That's gonna be there, that's good. Thank you. So that's history. Goodbye. Late work, got nobody. That, I don't even know what that is. I'm live. That's the other. Mark is focused. Welcome. Welcome. Hello. Maybe I'll learn everybody's name by the end of today. That would be kind of fun. 4, 6, 5. Hello, people in TV land. Welcome. Got those to give out to you. Hello, welcome to school. All the free school you could ever want right here. So you guys are at home today. No, you're here. What am I saying? You're here. And you're here. And you're online. Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, living the dream. Thank you. Living the dream. Dun, dun, dun. What time is it? Is it noon yet? No. Yeah. Well, is that the real bell or the fake bell? I don't know. We have a couple of them, don't we? Is that the real one? Let's see. 11, 1, 12:50, 11:49. That looks like the real bell. Welcome. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, it's the biggest class of the day. That's so exciting. Welcome. If you're at home, it looks like I got 5 people at home. I don't even know if that works. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I should take attendance real quick. My name is Mr. Friesen. I'll be your teacher today. If you're at home, that's cool. You guys have been at home before. Being at home is kind of terrible, right? This is kind of terrible too, right? Is everything just terrible? Okay, good. So this is actually is this only the second time we've seen each other? Oh my God, that's just unbelievable. So you'll have to excuse me if I don't know everybody's name yet because it's just awful. I think I probably know. I'm like at about half right now. So let's see what we can do. So JJ's here. I know that.
And Kylie's here. I know that. And oh, he's a pure remote kid now. And Christian's here. I know that. No. No, who are you?
Tyler?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're Tyler. I'm so bad. Tyler Hess. I'm sorry. So I don't know everybody's names. That's terrible. And Ashton's on remote. All right, who else we got? Who are you? Hi. Okay, I'm going to ask you that like 3 more times, I promise. It's nothing against you. It's all about me. It's all my fault. Kylie said, where would it be? I don't know what that question means. I don't know what that question means. Okay. Did I screw something up? Hold on, sorry. Oh, I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. Post. Okay. Yeah, my YouTube stream crashed. So hopefully it's there now. So somebody just made a comment. I wonder where she made the comment. Let's see. Sorry, you guys have to help me not say post. Oh, you got to be patient. You got to be patient with me, you guys. This happened last hour too. I'm so sorry. Post. It doesn't like that. Why doesn't it like that? Save draft. Post. It doesn't like that at all. Okay, whatever. Goodbye. Okay. Is that right? No, that's not right. View material. Oh dear, you guys, I'm trying to be patient here. This is not working at all. Sorry. I'm on TV right now whining too. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. You're just being patient. You're staring at me, stare at a screen. Paste. Add link. Save. Okay, that could be it. Maybe that's it. Okay, class comments. Okay, so I'm not sure if people at home can see this. I've got a couple of different streams going on. Maybe if you're at home, you could say something. You could type something in the Google Classroom chat box so that I could see you're alive. I don't even know if that'll work. Who knows? 1 second. New message. There it is. Try again. It's number 3. There we go. Hopefully that'll work. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, so we had, is it Alize? And, yes, sir. Brendan Larson. Yeah. You're here. And Brianne Black. You're here. Sweet. And we did you. And you, wait, let me guess. Kylie. Dang it. Where was the other Kylie? Wasn't there another Kylie in the room the other day?
She's the one that can't get into it.
Oh, yeah, she's the one that can't get in. So she's online right now. That's okay. So you must be Megan. Yeah. Yay for you. And Nevin? No. Ian? No. Yeah. Which one? Ian Knight. Thank you. Okay, yay. That was terrible. So Kylie can't get in, but maybe she can get in. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. What does she say? Oh, this is so awful. Okay, yay. Good morning. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making English a part of your day. My name is Mr. Friesen. I'll be your teacher for the day. I think I have 5 people watching me right now, maybe. If you're at home and able to make a comment and tell me that you can see this, that's great. If not, you don't know I'm talking to you right now. So that's kind of what it is, I guess. I have a poem to start things off, and today's poem is called Numbers. Give them a nice little poem. Numbers. I like the generosity of numbers. The way, for example, they are willing to count anything or anyone. 2 pickles. 1 door to the room. 8 dancers dressed as swans. I like the domesticity of addition. Add 2 cups of milk and stir. The sense of plenty. 6 plums on the ground, 3 more falling from the tree. And multiplication, school of fish times fish whose silver bodies breathe beneath the shadow of a boat. Even subtraction is never lost, just addition somewhere else. 5 sparrows, take away 2. The 2 in someone else's garden now. There's an amplitude to long division as it opens Chinese takeout box by paper box. Inside every folded cookie, a new fortune. And I never fail to be surprised by the gift of an odd remainder, footloose at the end. 47 divided by 11 equals 4, with 3 remaining. 3 boys beyond their mother's call. 2 Italians off to the sea. 1 sock that isn't anywhere you look. And you guys go, nicely done. Well played. Yay, I see Jade at home. I see Mr. Montoya at home. I see a comment here. Looks like we're alive. 1 class comment. What does it say? I can see it. Yay. Okay. Thanks for the communication. Today, what we're going to do is real simple. Today, we're going to welcome in a poem. I'm going to give you back your school pictures. If you're not here today, you'll get them tomorrow. Pretty exciting. There's this thing called an entrance ticket and an exit ticket. If you're at home, it's an entrance ticket, and you're going to hand this to me when you come to school tomorrow. If you're here, you're going to hand this to me when you walk out the door today. It's a lot easier if you're here today. All this is telling me where you are at by the end of the period today in terms of your personal essay, your personal statement essay. Do you know what you think you might write about? Do you have any ideas about how you might kind of build the thing? Do you have any kind of this? And it could be a very much a I don't know what I'm doing, or it could be a here's where I am. So this you'll hand to me at the end of the period if you're here today, and if you're at home, you'll look in the Google Classroom and you'll see the little entrance exit slip. We're going to do take a look at what you guys did for today, which were those model essays. One was called 12, one was called flying, one was called poop animals, and something else, and then the other one was called dogs and porches or something like that. So we'll talk a little bit about the models, and then we're going to do this exercise for about 15 minutes. It's called feelings and needs, and we'll talk about it more when we get to it. But what we're trying to do is practice writing informally about yourself before you have to write formally about yourself in your personal statement. And so it's just another exercise that might give you something to think about, to maybe consider being as the germ or center part of your essay. And then finally, I'm going to give you 4 more personal statement essays to look at. And then tomorrow we're going to be writing. So if you're in the room today, you're going to be starting I'm going to give you a ton of time to write tomorrow. If you're at home right now, you're going to be writing in class today. You'll be right. If you're at home today, you're going to be writing in class tomorrow. That's what all that stuff means. Do you guys have any questions, comments about school, about any confusion, anything going on? Friday is a remote for all your classes, so you'll need to check into all your classes, and you have to check in between 7:30 and 11:30. But if you check in at 11:30, that could be problematic because your teachers might give you something to do on that day. So you're going to want to check in at 7:30 and find out, what am I doing in my classes? Because it may be I need you to watch this 25-minute video. And if you have 6 classes and each class has something for you to do, you're going to have to balance your time out. So it's not synchronous. You don't have to do it in the order of your schedule, but some things have to be done by 11:30. Some teachers will give you an assignment and say, hey, turn this in next week. But some things may say this is due by 11:30 because they want you to do it on Friday. Do you have a question, Kylie?
I did, but then you answered.
Okay. So I'll tell you right now what mine is. Mine is it'll be a log in and watch this by the time you come to class next time. And it'll be a little thing for you to watch because I don't want you to feel like you have to do it during that time. But if you did do it during that time, because it's only going to be like 20 minutes, it's done for you. And it's something about it's about the personal essay you're going to be writing. Any questions about anything else? Chalk in the student parking lot? No? Any questions about where to go to lunch? Okay. It says here check in on Google Classroom. So if you're at home and you haven't checked in, oh no, because I don't think you're there. But if you're here, check in too. So let's just do that right now. And I know you're here. I have a little check by your name. I know you're here. But let me show you what I see. Here's what I see. My life is, I have so many things open. Like I have like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 tabs open on this computer. And I have 2 tabs open on that computer and 2 tabs open on that computer. They're all doing something different. Here's one of the tabs I have open is your class. So here's what your class looks like for me. So I can see like the class work, like here's the stuff that I have going on. Everything in gray is stuff that I've built already, but it's not live yet. And then I'm like, here's my little list of all my students. So here's all you guys. And if I wanted to see what anybody did, then I would just click on your name and it would pop you up and it'd show me like, what you've done. But then I have this thing, which is chaos. This is like everything you've done in Google Classroom. And see all these little checks? I mean, this is huge. See this? Isn't this chaos? Look at all this stuff.
Okay, and I have what people have done and done late, turned in and missing and awful. And what I'd really like is for today's attendance to just be a bunch of checks. I don't want to see red missings, because if you're here, it shouldn't say missing. It should just be a check. Does that make sense? And so it's just a way for me to clean this mess up, because look at all this stuff. This is just so much stuff. And I go, and what are we at? We're at week 4 right now. Oh my God, this thing's gonna be huge. So I'm asking you to please check in just for my sanity. I know you're here. I see you. And at the end of the period, I'm going to ask you to check out. And that's because of the database. If you're at home, you have to check out. I got 8 viewers at home. Like and subscribe, okay? All right, we good? All right, here we go. So here's what we're going to do today. Oh, new tab. First thing we have school pictures, everybody. Aren't you excited? You got to take your last school picture. You've been doing this for like 13 years, and today is your last one ever. So let's see, where are they? That's not them. This them? That's these guys. Is that you? No, that's another class. Is this you? This could very well be you. This could very well be you. Are you normally here with, no, that's not you. That's 4th hour. That's 4th hour. That's 4th hour. Okay, I'm having a hard time here. Let's see. Oh dear. Arrows, Baker, Martin, Marshall. Well, maybe you won't get your school pictures. Maybe I'm just that stupid. Let's see. No. Maybe I just have the paper. Oh, I have the paper on the wrong thing. Okay. These people were my last number, so it's got to be here somewhere. This is you guys. Marshall. And Martin. There it is. Yay. Here's your picture. Isn't this exciting? You guys can put these up on the refrigerator at home. These will be in the yearbook. Unless you took some of your pictures. Next to your pictures, probably did that. You should. Look at that. No, that's not you. That's not you. Oh, see, isn't this nice?
Thank you.
This is the first day of school. No, Tyler, right? No, sorry, hold on. Tyler here. There we go. Thank you. Ashton's not here today. Ian is here. Thank you, sir. There you go. Lovely. Larson's over here. Did you get a picture of me? Yeah, you got it right. Is this you? No, that's not you. What's your name? Black?
Yeah.
Oh, that is you. It's all good, right? Okay, look at that, school pictures. All right. And then what else are we going to do today? Today we're going to be continuing talking about doing some of the pre-writing work to get you ready to write your personal statement. Tomorrow we're going to actually draft the essay. If you're in person today, you're going to be completing this exit ticket. Submit this on your way out the door. Use this to tell me or express where you are in the process. If you're in person tomorrow, which means you're on a computer right now, you will be completing an entrance ticket, okay? And it's online. You can print it out. You could just write it on a piece of paper. I don't care what you do. And then you hand this to me tomorrow when you walk in the door. If you never walk in the door because you're a fully remote human, you take a picture of this or you fill it out online and you submit this to me by class time tomorrow. Show me where you're at in the process, okay? So if you're 100% remote, figure it out and give it to me electronically, okay? So here's this little thing. You guys have it easy. In here, you're just going to write on this by the time you leave the room. I kind of like doing this. I kind of like passing out papers. It makes me feel like we're in school. Most of the time, I don't think we're in school at all. I think we are in the future. A terrible future where we all live on a computer screen all the time. All right, here we go. Next, he said. Next. So I asked you guys today, before you came in, to take a look at 4 essays. They were called 12 Flying, Poop Animals in the Environment, and Little Porch and a Dog. And the whole goal was, what can you learn by reading other people's writing that could inform your own writing? There's never a time when you can't look at somebody else who's trod the path before you and say, what's that person doing? Picasso once said, if there's anything to steal, I steal, as he would look at other artists.
And so the idea that like, if you want to cook better, well, then look at someone who's cooking and taste their food and watch what they do and maybe inform your choices. Well, if you want to write better, maybe you should take a look at some successful writing and say, oh, I kind of like that approach, or, oh, I would have never thought to do that, or I will never do that. But hopefully by looking at what they wrote about, how they structured their papers, and why they were kind of resonating with the human condition, maybe something jumped out. So let me fire those up real quick. So are they on here? Let me see. I think they're on this thing. Personal statement model. Nope. This one. Nope. This one. Nope. This one. It was from yesterday. So it was this personal statement essay, right? Boom. And here it is. Bada bing. Yep, there it is. So there were 4 of them. And I asked you guys to annotate them and then fill out this little chart at the end, which was this what, how, why. What was the core of the essay? What really happens? How did the author make specific choices with language or style in the way the story was told? And then why? Why is this piece kind of tapping into some larger idea of the human condition? What value or essence is beyond just the story? So I want you guys, you have your machines today, right? Could you guys fire this up and take a look at them and ask you what you noticed? Because a bunch of you already have annotations on there, so we might as well look at your annotations. If you didn't do this, this is at least going to preview what you'll turn in as late work, okay? So if you guys could do that real quick, that would be great. Take a look at the 4 essays, 12 and flying and poop. And we had actually done this one in class where we talked about the little fortune dog. That was the story of the father's case that the child had to testify at. So I'll give you a minute or two to find that or fire that up. So let's go through this real quick. And if you like I said, if you didn't have time to get to this will at least maybe, I don't know, crack it open for you a little bit. So, number 12. Does anybody have any feedback about what this person chose to write about? How this piece was written? Why it might resonate with somebody and become an effective personal statement? Anybody in the room have any insights into this? Ooh, I know. Maybe we should just look at what you did annotate. Kylie, do you have something? Or are you just fixing your math? Both.
I could say something.
Thank you.
I found it interesting. What I found interesting was that like he did all this schooling, so you kind of saw how he like skipped the grades to go into high school.
Right.
So his life was as a high school student as 12 years old.
Yeah. So this journey, this story that's there is unique. It's going to separate this person from the herd a little bit. What larger idea about the human condition might we get from that? You get something about maybe about perseverance, perhaps about facing struggle, something like that. Anybody else have a comment? You know, let's not just stick with the one. Let's just bounce around. Does anybody have anything about any of these 4 that you noticed that you're like, oh, I like that, or that connected with me? This is kind of an awful thing to do, I know, to time out your ideas, because there's so many things to think about. It's a lot easier if we all read the poem together and then we all talk about what we're thinking right now, you know, that helps. In last class, this was not a good exercise either, so I'm thinking this is not a good thing to do. Anybody have any? Yes, sir. Tyler, right?
Yeah, no, Brendan.
Dang it. Tyler here, Brendan there.
Yeah.
Gotcha, Brendan.
But for the story number 12,
12.
he really uses his like motivation for like schooling and knowledge to help instill how he played or how he like kind of coaches and plays football.
Very nice. So kind of my past experience then leading to what my present is, and then ultimately my future. So I think there's a pretty nice single line in this thing. It's memorable in that way. Anybody else see anything? Yes.
For the story number 12, I kind of noticed how his strengths were in his like academic skills, not his like athletic skills. And so when he switched from becoming a player to a coach, he used more of his academic skills to like put that into his coaching skills instead of trying to use what he doesn't have to play. So
Nice. I don't know. And a lot of stories are going to ultimately have that shift, that change, the idea of a realization. That's not bad. Thank you, Megan. Anybody else? How about any of the other ones? How about like flying, or we already kind of talked about the Portrait of the Dog, the one that was partially written in Spanish, or the one that was about poop. Anybody see anything on those guys that jumped out to you guys? I really like the poop one because I like the first line of it. I have been pooped on many times. I mean, that's pretty bold way to start a piece, especially if somebody's going to, depending on what this was for, if this was for a job interview, or if this was as a college application piece, or if this was an assignment to turn on. I don't mind it, I don't mind it, some nice repetition. You guys see the repetition here? I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind, and the person's kind of creating this chant of things. All right, I don't want to do this anymore. Sorry, I'm not enjoying, I kind of more enjoy when we're doing something together, and this was something you guys did on your own. If you guys have questions about this, if you didn't do this, just make sure you complete it at some point, okay? I know Infinite Campus, and I should probably say that to you guys, Infinite Campus is a cruel, cruel device, because when I put something in as missing, it just throws it at you, this big red, and it destroys your grade, because there's only 5 things in there right now. So if it says it's missing, get it done. If you did do it and I say it's missing, tell me. Okay. I am not even kidding. I get over 100 emails a day from students. Okay. Telling me, Friesen, I got this in. Oops, I forgot to do this. Can you check that I did this? It's absolutely fine. Just tell me what you see. Okay. So in theory, by looking at 4 essays, you kind of think about, I would never write this, but I could appreciate how somebody else would. Did the lights just flicker? Okay, that wasn't just me? No, that might bring the Wi-Fi down, huh? You guys ready for zombie apocalypse? Okay, here we go. All right, so let's move on. Let's not talk about the past, let's talk about the future. So where do we go from here? So we're gonna do this exercise in class today. And if you are at home, oh my gosh. If you're at home, yay for you, because we're going down. You can do this with us. If you're at home, you can also just go to this slide and go at your own pace. It's up to you. But it's a little 10-minute video, but I stop it a couple of times for you to write things down. So it's kind of up to you. Essentially, by the time we did the essence object box thing, by the time we looked at the values that you had, and by the time we do this, hopefully, if you don't know what you want to write, between one of those 3 things, it will tap into something that you're like, well, I think I could at least write about that. As opposed to what I didn't ever want to do is give you guys a piece of paper and say, okay, write a personal essay. You'd be like, about what? So we're trying to do some prep work. But what I would like you to do is this piece of paper right here. We did this piece of paper the other day. It was called a values exercise. And today we're going to reference the back. So if you have this piece of paper, we're going to use the back of it today. If you don't, I'll give you a new one. And at home, if you need this, go back 2 days and you'll find it. Okay, but it's a 2-sided sheet that's values and then it's feelings, needs. Values, feelings, needs. And I'm happy to give you another one if you need it. Okay, anybody want one? You want one? Okay. So in theory, we did the values thing where you circle things and star things and underline them, right? Did you do that? Were you here? Didn't we do this? We did this, right? The values thing. Anybody need one? Got it? Yeah, okay. So he's going to reference the back today because he's going to want to talk about feelings and needs. And sometimes it's hard to put feelings and needs into words. So basically, he's giving you a list of words that you can just borrow, okay? If there's anything to steal, I steal. You also need a piece of paper.
So here we go with this guy talking.
Hey, Ethan Sawyer, college essay guy here. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorite exercises. It's called the feelings and needs exercise. And all you need for this is a blank sheet of paper.
Okay, if you don't have a blank sheet of paper, there's a drawer right here. Come grab the blank sheet of paper. And you need something to write with, okay? And so I'm going to kill some of these lights, that many of them. So this kind of feels like school. Paper, something to write on, something to write with, okay? You don't actually need the machine right now if you want to just set, you can leave it on if you want, I don't care. But we don't actually need the machine. And you guys at home, this is private writing. I will never look at this, okay? And so feel free to be as personal as you like, as informal as you like. I will never do this. But if you go through this exercise, maybe it'll do nothing for you. But maybe during this exercise, you'll be like, oh, that's the thing I think I want to write about. Right now, 5-figure test. Right now, I have no idea what I'm going to write a personal essay about. That would be one of these. A 5 would be, I already got mine, and you're wasting my time, Friesen. Ready to go. 5-figure test. Put your hand up. How far are you? I have no idea what I'm going to write about. I think I might know. I'm pretty good about it. I have an idea, okay? Okay, so by the time we're done today, you kind of have to have that, okay? Well, actually, by tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're writing. And if you don't know what to write about, I'll give you some suggestions. I'll say, well, write about what we just did on this. Or I'll say, write about one of the objects in your Essence Objects box. Or I'll say something like that. So, like I said, we're just trying to prime the pump here, okay? Here we go. So here he goes. Talking fellow. Go.
Your favorite pen, mine happens to be green, yours doesn't have to be. And feelings and needs exercise. You can find a PDF download of this exercise by clicking.
It's on your desk,
If
man.
you need to pause the video for a second before we get started to grab those things, go for it. But we're going to move on. So this is going to take you about 15 or 20 minutes. Take your time with it. Find somewhere quiet because you're going to want to be able to focus. And let's jump right in.
Here we go.
Take your blank sheet of paper and turn it sideways. Turn it horizontally. And we're going to be writing some stuff along the top right here. And we're going to be writing 6 words. So when I tell you to write the first word, don't write it huge. Write it kind of small because we're going to do 6 columns. Okay? So right here in the top left corner, I want you to write the word challenges. I'm going to do it too. So challenges. And in this column, I want you to write down 3 or 4 challenges that you've been through. Just write down there. Leave a little space in between them as you're writing them. Okay? Now, what do I mean by challenges? Tough stuff that you've been through. For me, some of the challenges that I faced up until high school were moving around a lot. It was really tough, having to be the new guy all the time. Another challenge I faced was my parents got divorced when I was about 16. Now, they don't have to be huge like that. It could just be, something small, but that's really meaningful to you. So take a couple minutes and pause the video if you need to. And I want you to write down 3 or 4 big challenges. And if you're having trouble coming up with challenges, you can write down the big experiences, things that were meaningful and kind of shifted things for you.
So those are moments in time, okay? Things that occurred in your life that are big. So write 3 or 4 challenges you have faced or are currently facing. Or, could be recent, could be a while ago. No one will read this but you, okay? So I think a good personal statement does 4 things. The first thing I think it does is it is personal. And so it actually taps into vulnerability. Doesn't mean I don't like this about myself. That's not what vulnerability means. It just means the willingness to put yourself out there a little bit. Vulnerability. Write down 3 or 4 challenges you faced. While you guys do that, I'm going to take attendance again. Ian, one of the reasons I keep forgetting your avatar picture is not you. So that's why one of the reasons I keep getting confused is I'm like, what? Who are you? If it's like the mountains or a Colorado flag or something, I'm good with it.
Yeah, that one.
Or a marine symbol, right?
Looked up my name for that one.
No, that's fine. I don't mind. It's just it doesn't. I have a disconnect between the word I've been seeing on the screen. We're good. All right. 3 or 4 challenges. I'll shut up. here. And the one way I kind of monitor the room is I just look for pencils moving, so if you think you're done, maybe you stop moving the pencil. Three, 4 challenges. Here we go.
Okay, I'm assuming at this point that you've done all of your column full of challenges. If you haven't, pause the video. But once you've done that, I want you to write down the word effects. So write down the word effects. Do that as you listen to what I'm going to say now. So based on each of the challenges that you've written down, let's say you write down in your column, divorce. Well, you have divorce written down as a challenge, and I have divorce written down as a challenge. But the way that we experienced the divorce was different. What do I mean by that? Well, for me, divorce meant, we just had 2 holidays, 2 Thanksgivings, 2 Christmases. But for you, divorce might have meant something different. It might have meant, lots of domestic turmoil, fighting. I don't know what your experience was like. But the point of the second column is to differentiate your experience of your challenges from everybody else who might have experienced the same challenge. So let's say your challenge was you lost someone, either to a death, or they moved away, or you just had a falling out. What were the external circumstances? Now, I'm not talking about emotions here, like I felt sad, I felt angry. We're going to save that. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. I'm talking about how was your life different on the outside? So take a minute to think about that. For each of the challenges, write down a couple of the effects or repercussions that you experienced as a result. Pause the video if you need a little more time.
It's okay? Here we go.
We're going to move on. The third column is feelings. Okay, so write down feelings or emotions for each of the effects that you felt. So for me, an effect of my parents getting divorced was we had to go back and forth a lot. And how did I feel about that? I felt a little annoyed, a little put out. Not angry, but just kind of like, why do we have to do this? So you might write down I don't know, whatever your feelings about it were. Now, it can be hard to think about our feelings. That's where this sheet comes in. So the PDF that you can find by clicking the link at the beginning of the video or in the comments below, it's got a big list of feelings on the left side, okay? So check that list out. It's gonna be really useful, and I'm gonna use it right now. So when my parents got divorced, the effect was we had to go back and forth from house to house. I felt worried. I felt worried because sometimes I would forget something at my mom's house that I needed, and I would be at my dad's. So I'd be worried that the next day at school I wouldn't have everything that I needed. So for you, for each of the effects, write down emotions that you felt. And sometimes the emotions will probably contradict each other, right? So you might feel elated at something, but you might also be annoyed at the same time. So it's okay if the feelings contradict. That's life. So take a minute and pause the video if you need to, and write down the feelings or emotions that you felt as a result of whatever the external circumstance was for the challenge.
So that feelings needs sheet can be good for that. Sometimes it's hard to put those things into words. Well, there's about 100 and some words there. Maybe one of those, or some of those. Remember, what you're writing right now is your eyes only. I won't look at this. It's completely private. You okay? Think we're gonna move on? Step 4.
And here's where it gets a little deep. Based on the feelings that you felt, for each feeling that you felt, I want you to write down, I don't know if you can read this or not, but it doesn't matter, a need. So in the 4th column, at the top, write the word need. Consider this. Consider that for every feeling you felt, there was a need that either was or wasn't getting met. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's say my feeling was restlessness or anxiousness or worry. What was my deeper need in the case that I gave already? Well, I think my deeper need was for stability and consistency. And if you're trying to think about, well, what do you mean by needs? On the right side of that page, there's a list of needs. So check out that page, and you'll be able to identify, based on the feeling, what need, if it was a negative feeling, wasn't getting met. If it was a positive feeling, like, wow, I felt happy, it might be that there's a positive need there, like because my need for connection was getting met. So consider that. For each of your feelings, write down a need that either was or wasn't getting met. So, in the 5th.
Right, we're on the 5th yet. Was or was not getting met. All right, no more pencils. Number 5, here we go.
Column. I want you to write down what I did about it. What do I mean by this? So, you experienced certain challenges, which came with certain effects or repercussions, which made you feel certain feelings. And those feelings were connected to particular needs that either were or weren't getting met. So my question for the 5th column is, what did you do to meet those needs for yourself? And this is kind of a tricky one, because you might look at that and you might think, well, I needed community or connection, but I didn't do anything about it. I just kept living my life. And that's what it might look like or feel like on the surface. But I want you to consider that your extracurricular activities, or whatever your hobbies are, or basically whatever you spend your time doing, is a way that you've been trying to get your needs met. So let me give a quick example so you understand what I mean. When my parents were divorced and there was some moving back and forth, there wasn't a ton of talking about it. So I felt kind of confused, why are my parents, getting divorced? My need was for transparency, for more conversation. And I also felt kind of detached. So my need was for more connection and more community. Now, looking back, my 16 or 17-year-old self wouldn't have been oh, I'm going to go get this need for community met. What I did was I just lived my life, and I kept doing theater, because theater was my thing. When I looked back at it, I thought, I would just write on theater, what I did about it. But then when I thought back about this, I was oh, theater actually did help me meet my need for community and connection. And even transparency, because in theater you have to be transparent. What's showing up for you? How are you feeling? Now that's a pretty crazy connection. So write down in the 5th column, what did you do? What have you spent the last year or 2 doing in your free time, especially? Okay. And then you can, like I said, you can reverse engineer it and write down, okay, and I felt this feeling or this need was being met based on this activity. So you can add in some more needs if you want. Okay.
Looks like pencils are done. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. What I did.
Okay. So in the 6th and final column, you're going to write down what I learned. Okay. So based on what you did about it, what did you learn from the experience? And the way that I want you to frame this is in terms of, with your feelings and needs exercise, flip it over, your values. If you've done my exercises before, you know about this values list. But I want you to think of these values as the qualities that you developed based on what you did to get your needs met, based on the challenges. You kind of see how they're all connecting now, right? And another way to think about this is your superpowers. So another thing you can write on column 6 is what I learned / superpowers. So what superpowers did you develop trying to get your needs met? So for me, getting involved in theater, I got my need for community and connection met, but I also gained some superpowers, some additional values. I expressed and experienced my creativity more, and that's one of my superpowers. I feel like when that superpower begins to come out and flourish. Another one was confidence. I started to develop more confidence, because you may not know this about me, but I'm kind of an introverted or shy person. But being on stage in the theater taught me how to, use my voice and to speak more fully and to be more present in my body. There's a third one. Being more present in my body, understanding what I was feeling. Theater helped me do that. So I would just write down, creativity, confidence, using my voice, feeling my body, feeling my emotions. So you can see I'm already listing like 3 to 5. So for each of the ones that you've listed in your what I did about it, what superpowers or what values have you learned to develop based on that? Take a minute or two to do that. Pause the video if you need to.
4 things I think you're going to want to include in your personal statement. Something vulnerability, something personal about you. 2 is some hint at a larger idea, like a value in there, because that really shows kind of your belief system. And then the 3rd thing, the best word we have for it is your superpower. And bottom line is it's something you possess that's yours. And it's something you do well, something you believe strongly in. It's something that makes you shine. It's that thing inside you that's so powerful. Whether that's your tenacity to get things done, or whether that's your inquisitive nature, or whether that's your big heart for those in need. It's the thing that makes you beyond somebody else. So anyway, so that's what you're doing right now is kind of the thing you now possess because of this path you went down. Or the thing you learned, or the quality. And then the last thing he's going to have you do is circle things. Here we go.
So what you should have now, and go ahead and take a look at your sheet, you should have basically a map with a ton of content. So what I want you to do is start making some connections. And this is the end of the exercise. But I want you to start connecting things from the challenge, the effects, the feelings, the needs, the what I did, with just some basic arrows. So which things connect to which things? You can kind of, identify which of these might be an interesting essay topic. And if there's something that seems like a common thread to the whole thing, just circle that real big.
And that's it. So the the essence object box exercise, where you envision a box and you put things in there. Maybe that could be a germ that helps you write a personal statement. Or maybe the value sheet where you had to drill down and find one. Or maybe one of these paths you just went down. Did I face this? And because I faced this, this happened, and I felt this way, which made me realize what I had to do, and this is what I did. And maybe this is a path that you go down. All we've done for a couple of days is try to write informally about that. This, you guys, if you're at home, I'm going to hand you this list tomorrow, but it's also online. This is your essay topic, okay? But if you've seen it before, the essay topic is, they're taken from the Common App. So you guys, if your future includes applying to college this fall, you may be killing 2 birds with 1 stone right now, because the paper you're writing for me may be a paper that you can just submit to college. If your future doesn't hold that right away, like maybe you don't think there's gonna be colleges next year because we're never gonna have real world again. That's fine. But these 6 prompts here are ultimately what you're gonna write on. And let's go here. Oh, don't do that. We already did that. So if I do that, and then I do that. Yep. So these are the 10 prompts you have, or the 6 prompts, you have them in front of you. The first prompt. Many students have a background, identity, interest, or talent so meaningful, a picture of them would be incomplete. Share your story. Maybe something you put in your essence box ties to something that is part of your identity, interest, or talent. So maybe you write about that. Or the second one, the lessons we take from obstacles, challenges, setbacks, or failures cause us to learn. That's exactly the thing you just did on the piece of paper. So maybe you write about that. Or reflect on a time when you challenged or questioned a belief or idea. Maybe there's a reflection of that in your values, or maybe there's something in your essence box that was a moment that made you question your thinking, or maybe the thing you just did. The fourth one is describe a problem that you have faced or solved, or something you'd like to solve, and then get into why it's important for you to find that solution. Number 5 is something that you've achieved, an accomplishment or a realization, and how that moment was a period of personal growth. Maybe the thing you just did was that. The last one is, what is something you find so engaging that you lose all track of time? Why? Maybe that's something in your essence box, or maybe that's something on the path you went down, or maybe it's something completely different. And then number 7 is basically, it just says write an essay. It just says share an essay of a topic of your choice. So this thing is just wide open. What I don't want you to do is feel like you have to write to a prompt. You should write an essay that's very personal to you. And I think it'll naturally fit one of these. I'm going to give you 2 criteria. The first well, we'll give you more criteria later, but you're going to have to tell me which one of these you picked. And if the essay you write doesn't fit any of them, you say, I picked number 7. So that's simple. I'm also going to, here's the 4th criteria. I'm going to look, does your essay show vulnerability? Does it show your values or a value? Does it reflect kind of what makes you super powerful? And then finally, I am going to look at craft. I'm going to look at how you chose to write it. Do you know the difference between a comma and a semicolon? There'll be some rules of English. I'll also look at what you chose to do. How did you choose to tell your story? And then it has to be between 450 and 650 words. It has to live in that little thing, which is about, I don't know, a page and 3/4 to 2 pages. And that's it. It's pretty simple. All right? So a lot of this, when we usually write in English class, we usually have a book or a short story, and we all talk about it, and then you write about it. But the subject matter is yourself. And so ultimately, I can give you strategies and direction. I can show you models, but at the end of the day, you're the expert on the source material, and you get to run with it how you want. Okay? Comments, questions? We okay? All right, so here's what your homework is for today. We're going to look at a few more examples. And I'm actually going to put the assignment up for you in a second. And you guys are in here till 1:04. So you may actually have time to complete your homework in class today. And then tomorrow we're going to be writing. So we're going to look at a few more examples. This time you're only to annotate either in Google Docs by commenting or some other program. Like if you like an annotation program, use it. Like I think some people are using Cami in some of their classes and stuff. If you like different ways of annotating, great. Like if you want to print it out and write on it, if you want to upload it as a PDF and use a stylus on your tablet, I don't care. But bottom line is I want you to mark the essays. These are, there are guiding ideas to help you. And then the goal of looking at somebody else's writing is to consider kind of what they picked to write about, how they express their story, and why they're powerful, why they speak to something about humanity in them. So the goal of looking is to consider the what, how, why, and see if anything strikes a chord with you, and you could influence what you're going to do in your own statement. So here's what the assignment looks like. You can find it on Google Classroom, but where is it? It's here. So if I click here and I click today, is this today? This is today. Day 8 class information, and it's called, where is it? Oh, it's down, there it is. Personal statement essay model thing. So it's basically, and the directions are really clear. So just walk through the directions. But at the end of the day, you have 4 essays there. So you're gonna scan them real quick, and you're gonna throw 1 away. And then you're gonna read 3 of them. And then after you've read 3 of them quickly, you're gonna throw 1 away, and you're gonna write on 2 of them. So you're gonna basically write on half of them, but I want you to at least preview 3 of them. And essentially, you're going to be making thoughtful engagement with the content. So these are really good annotations, and there are lots of annotations. You're going to be writing about the essays and how the writers craft their work. If you write limited annotations, give you a limited score, okay? If you're uncertain, now's the time to ask. And then what some students have done, which I think is pretty good, I've given you 5 things to think about. One is organization and structure. You should read this. But bottom line is, how did they structure and organize a 2-page essay? What did they start with? How did they build it? What did they do? One thing I want you to think about is metaphor. Like, what is a central metaphor, which is something that represents something else, that they hold, and why? One thing I'd like you to look at is style and voice. Notice word choice, sentence structure. Is it a first-person story, a third-person story? Is there dialogue? What did they do with manipulating the way the story was told? The tone. Tone is an attitude about your subject. So is it a serious piece? Is it a witty piece? Is it sophisticated? Is it precocious? Is it naive? And then risk. Where do you think the student took some risks? And what kind of risks might the student take? So what I had some students do earlier is they actually picked a color and they said, okay, I'm going to make my comments for organization yellow. I'm going to make my comments for metaphor red. And since there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things I ask you to look at, maybe that'll make them jump out for you. Maybe that's taking a big task and breaking it down into 5 small things to do. Okay? So even just looking at the essays, you can see this one's called Drowned by Swaying.
You know, that's an interesting choice to title it something like that. Do you even know what that means? Today, I am having hip surgery. I, italicized. And this is a story or something, which is kind of wild at the end. And then there's one called Farming a Future. And then there's one called Superpowers. And then there's one called The Daily Show. And so between those four, I want you to scan them real quick, pick 3, read them fast, and then pick 2 and spend time with them. And really think about the craft intended. Be like your favorite song. If you just listen to it and stop and said, okay, wait a minute, how long exactly is this guitar solo? Oh, it's 43 seconds. Or how long is this? And you just break it down and try to understand it. And this is your homework for tomorrow. Essentially, all you need to do is complete this annotation by 7:35 tomorrow morning. And then we have something to talk about. Tomorrow, we're actually going to start writing the essays, and we're off there. Does that make sense? It's okay? SOCKS? Okay? Yes? Let me know if you have questions. I get paid to help you. I've been answering email and attendance inquiries over there. If you're in the room, if you would fill out the exit ticket by the time you leave, and that just tells me where you at. Where are you at with your own paper right now? Do you kind of have a sense of where you might start? And then if you're at home, you would want to bring me an entrance ticket tomorrow. And then if you are at home, you need to check out at the end of the period, and you guys have about 20 minutes. And if you're in the room, let's do that too, just so that we clean up the databases. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm teaching the class in mock Canadian today. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. We good? Can I get a hey now? This was such a quiet class. I can tell you're all smiling or frowning. I don't know. Let's see. Can we tell by your eyes what you're doing? I don't know. Let's see. All right. Make either frown or smile. And I'm just going to see which one it is. I can totally tell. This is awkward. If you don't like eye contact, some of you hate eye contact. I hate eye contact. If you don't like eye contact, wearing a mask has just become just an awful time of existence because you're constantly staring at people's eyes. At least I am. I don't know. We good? I got a new mask today. All right, kids. Let me know what I can do to help you. I get paid money to help you. Just call me over. We good? Yes.
Is it supposed to say entrance?
Oh, yeah. This is saying exit. It's the same thing. It's the exact same ticket. So you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say, yeah. It should just say e-ticket. Look at Disney. You guys know what e-tickets are? E-tickets were the fancy rides when Disney first came out. Space Mountain was an e-ticket. If you guys at home have a question, just put it in the Google Classroom and I'll see it. Absolutely. absolutely. Thank you, no, thank you. We're good. Let's see, is somebody going? As soon as he comes back, we're only do one at a time. Sorry. As soon as, who's that? That's Ian. So if you're here and you would check out, it just cleans up my attendance. If you're at home, you have to check out, okay? So when you guys are at home tomorrow at the end of the period, the thing turns on at like, right before 1 and it stays on a little after 1. Essentially, the check-in and check-outs are open for 13 minutes at the beginning and end of every class. So as long as you're here during that time, that's cool. And off we go. What we're going to do tomorrow is start writing. So you're at home, make sure you're comfortable. If you're coming in tomorrow, you should probably bring your Chromebook or some better computer, and we'll do it. We'll do that. Okay. All right. And there's that. We'll clean it up here. She's an online person. She's an online person. I don't know about her. And you have to fill out this little exit thing, right? And we'll just grab that on the way out the door. Hi.
So I don't know if is it like hidden or is it?
It turns on. It should be turned on. Let's see. Yeah, it's supposed to turn on by itself at the end of the class. Yeah, it's scheduled to turn on at 12:59, and it's 1:02, and it still hasn't turned on, but it will turn on. It does. It does do that. Sometimes it turns on early. You would think that computers would understand time because, like, it's so basic for them. Maybe I can go on there right now and just turn it on. Let's see. Let's see. If I go here and I click on this one and I click on edit it. Oh, it's there. It just turned on, I think. Yeah, it turns on by itself. Right? And it always turns on within the class, like, I guess we have 2 minutes to spare. I don't know why I can't tell time. You'd think you could, but I can't. Coffee, Mother. Brown. Martin. Sherland. Cody. Brielle. Colby. Troy. Caleb, Anthony, Alex, Hunter, Caleb. Hey, have a nice day, everybody. Hand me your little piece of paper on the way out the door. Exit thing, man. Remember that day that we packed it all up? See how this works? The reason we're doing this is so it feels like school. See, school used to be a time when you turn things in, handed things out. We have had 2 cases of COVID at Columbine High School. Did I talk about Cherokee High School again?
Yeah.
I mentioned 1,500 kids on 14. We have 6.
Heritage shut down.
Heritage are shut down because there weren't enough teachers to man the room because teachers got it. A teacher got it. Have a nice day, guys. Welcome. You have a green green shirt, right? You know what you're doing, right?
Yeah. The way into program.
Nice, good for you. Good for you. All right. Number 5. Hello, how are we? Good. Is Haley in there? Bye, everybody. Real pleasure.